Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine Women and Words. I'm Michelle, and of course, with me is Diana. Hello.
Hello. So this week we don't really have much of a plan for stuff to talk about. We're just gonna kind of wing it.
Yep, it's been one of those weeks. Diana has been planning her vacation all week.
Mm-hmm.
I have been planning how to stow away in her luggage.
Yes, basically, if it hasn't been about my vacation, I'm like, does it really matter? So yeah, when Michelle was like, "Hey, what are we talking about this week?" I was like, "Paris." My
I
vacation.
mean, we could talk about Paris. That's totally fine.
Is there anything else happening in the world?
Not much. I mean, people are saying things, people are doing things. That's all I know.
Right? Yeah, other than that, I either have my nose in a book or I'm planning vacation. So I really don't know what else is happening. I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. But this is going to be our last one-on-one episode for like what, a month? Over a month.
Well,
Oh, don't be
I mean,
scared.
I
I know
know
you're like guests.
we have so many exciting people coming on, and I'm super excited about it.
I know.
And I know some people might be tired of seeing just the two of us, so I'm sure a little variety will spice things up a little bit.
Anybody be tired of seeing just the two of us?
True. Valid
I'm
argument.
never tired of seeing just the two of us.
No, neither do I, but I'm sure there are people out there.
There are mornings I wake up and I'm like Gaston in the mirror. I'm like,
My God, you're beautiful.
I'll get back to you.
So what are you drinking? Okay, so before we started, we did a little chat and everything, caught up on our lives, on the drama going on both coasts. And as we're talking, my wine bottle is still full, so I can't do an exact interpretation of what Diana did. Bottle. Okay, let's say I'm going to use this champagne glass full of chocolate, and I'm going to eat the chocolate as we go.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I left my M&Ms downstairs.
So as we're talking, Diana is talking, and I see her go like this.
With my wine.
So I know your wine bottle is empty. I'm
Yes,
not judging. I'm just curious.
In my defense, it was about up to here. Well, no, about here. Yeah, about there. About half. That's about maybe half.
That's a healthy glass.
Yeah, but it's not just this glass. This is my second glass. Because I had already had the glass poured, and you're like, oh, wait, can we do 7:30? And I was like, okay, sure. And then, yeah, I just kept drinking. I mean, I had to do a lot initially because I had to do that really awesome morning photo on Instagram.
And sometimes, you don't do it right, so you have to keep pouring.
Exactly.
I had one picture that I was doing on Instagram once, and I wanted to, flip it upside down and make it look like the wine was pouring from the glass into the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I was done, I think I had 4 wine glasses surrounding me of failed pours for the picture.
That's why I like this goblet, because I can fit a lot. I can fit. What did we determine? Was it a half a bottle or a full bottle in this?
I think half a bottle.
Yeah, half a bottle. So I mean, I've got a healthy amount in here now. But I am drinking the rest of my limited release Dark Horse Rosé because it's just fabulous.
I still have to look for it. So what's exciting about these past 2 weeks is I've been at my mom's house in North Carolina, and my mom, I'm just going to turn this a little bit. She has that.
For those of you who are listening, it's a nice big wine refrigerator. Michelle's mom has all the wonderful toys.
Yeah, she has all the good stuff. And she has the good wine too. So I'm drinking.
That's why I've adopted your mother as my own.
I'm drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's called Liberté.
I love that. I've had that brand before.
It's quite good. I had it the other night.
I that one at Trader Joe's.
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't know where she got it, but it's good. It's not the good wine, but it's good.
Hey, you know what? It works.
I love when wine bottles have pairing suggestions. Like this one says to serve with stuffed poblano peppers, roasted beet salad, or tortilla soup with pressed Cuban sandwiches.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had a pressed Cuban sandwich in ages.
I don't know what a pressed Cuban sandwich is, but I'm going to pair it with chocolate.
You know, that one is good with chocolate. I've had that one with chocolate. Yeah, I like this rosé. It's really hit or miss with me with rosés. The cheaper ones give me a headache, and I don't know what it is. I had this mild paranoia that I might actually be allergic to wine, and if that were to happen, I don't know what I would do with myself.
That's
It would
awful.
be, I know, it would be akin to being allergic to chocolate or air or pasta. I couldn't fathom it. So I have to go with a little more of the higher end rosés if I go with a rosé, because it's the only wine that affects me. It gives me a headache.
When you're, I think it's, I forget when, but at some point in pregnancy, you have to take a glucose test to see if you have gestational diabetes. And I cannot tell you a greater fear than to take this test and wait for the results, thinking that you could be diabetic and you could not have another chocolate shake for the remainder of your pregnancy. And I was pregnant with Lily. Chocolate shakes are my craving.
Oh man.
Thankfully, it came out negative both times. Otherwise, it would have been a really rough remain. I really forget when is. I think it's like 20 weeks. I don't know. You have to chug this.
Know. Do they have glucose tests for when you're waiting for your puppy to arrive?
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. I'm just really bad at it because then I would know. Then I could be an expert on that.
Well, it's this really gross drink that you have to chug, and it's like they give it a name and make it sound like it's like orange zest, and it's like basically syrup, like pure sugar, and you have to chug it on an empty stomach, and it's disgusting.
Ugh. Yeah. Ugh.
Anyway,
I'll just stick to my wine.
Mm-hmm. I am not diabetic. You are not allergic to wine. So
all is right with the world.
All the world makes sense again.
Yes.
So this month we are reading The Undesirables, and we both have our book this week.
Yes. If I can get mine right set up.
And you know, I don't know if it was just there's a lot going on this month or what, but I had a really hard time like getting into it. And I just think it was because I had a lot of distractions traveling.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you listening, I'm waving my hands back and forth to demonstrate my distractions.
Chaos. She kind of looks like a Muppet.
But now it has officially like reeled me in, and I'm really excited because I love when that moment happens.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely love it too. I'm currently reading Dear Fang with Love, and that one, it's a possible book. We haven't, it's between Dear Fang with Love and Atlantos for next month right now.
Mm-hmm.
And with Dear Fang with Love, I went to the Women's National Book Association tea, and I went because there was this great book called Southland that looked really interesting, that totally within my historical fiction genre. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go for this. And then there's this other book that sounds really interesting. But this Dear Fang with Love, the premise it doesn't sound like it's for me. And then the author read a section of the book, and I like fell in love with the story. And I was telling Michelle about it today, and I'm like, my only frustration is that I haven't had enough time to read this week. Because it's just such a well-written book, and I'm so in love with the story that it hooked me in with just this little chapter. Because in this one paragraph, the author is talking about how it's about a dad and his daughter, suffered a mental breakdown, and so he decides to take her to Lithuania on a research/vacation, and he's talking about his grandmother who escaped from Nazi prison. She was on the verge of being in a gas chamber, of being killed in the gas chamber. She was naked. She, turned her clothes over to go into the gas chamber, and all of a sudden, one of the guards comes in, calls her out, and she leaves her sister behind. And he takes her onto the snow, then rapes her, then gives her some clothes and some money, and says, "Get out of here."
Aww.
And so he talks about that story and that whole section about Grandma Sylvia, and how after that, Grandma Sylvia had to have cheap grocery cake to celebrate her rape anniversary, because that was that rape saved her life. And how messed up is that? But yet every year she had to have, when she escaped from Nazi Germany, when she escaped from the concentration camp, she had to have a celebratory cake. And how, I know right now saying this, it sounds weird, but that's when I was like, I gotta read this book, because if something is as weird and as awkward as that, I'm gonna fall in love with it. And I did.
That's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the possibility of Atlantos, which just sounds so fascinating as this alternative history.
It's like science fiction meets historical fiction.
Yeah.
Like if historical fiction and science fiction had a love child, it would be this book.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's by Robert Maxwell, and it's the premise is that you've got these two gods that are coming to this new planet to mine stuff. One's coming to Earth and one's going to Mars. And it's interesting because one comes to Earth, and you have this drama between these two houses. And it was so weird. I was watching I forget what I was watching. I was watching something. I was watching 60 Minutes, and somebody was talking about how they had some other random person on, like, hey, so maybe people showed up to Mars and they actually mined it. And I was like, oh, it's Atlantos.
It happened.
It's real. So yeah, those are 2 possible books for next month. So we'll see which one we end up with.
Well, we have a lot next month. So next month is Wine, Women, and Words 1 year anniversary.
Yes. Well, starting before next month, we've got one more week of this month. And so next week we're going to have Chad in to talk about the book, and we're going to make sure that Michelle's actually read the whole book itself.
I'm going to. Okay, I know. I'm super behind, but I will make it. And I have been super far behind in past months before, but that doesn't mean that I don't pull through. I'm a journalist, okay? We thrive on deadlines. But I am super interested in all this, the history of Leningrad during World War II, because I had, we talked about this last week, that I had no idea, how bad it was. I mean, obviously, I knew it was bad, but I mean, the Russian government was working against its own people to keep the people of Leningrad in the city, to keep them from telling other people how bad it was in there, to keep morale from plummeting among, the soldiers and the rest of the country. And I just think that's really interesting. Like, not in a, oh, that's nice, just like, wow.
Yeah, that a government would do that and not get the people out of there, just simply because they didn't want to show weakness. And
okay, earmuffs or mute me or whatever if you haven't read farther than Karen and Peter meeting for the first time. So the part when you freaked out that Duck was gonna die.
Have we told the story yet about me freaking out about Duck dying?
I don't know, but was that the part with the tanks and all the dogs?
Yeah, that was the first time.
The first time? There's more?
Yes, there's more, because that damn dog can't seem to keep himself in line, and he gave me a heart attack throughout the whole book, like to the point where I had to tell another friend who's like, okay, I really want to read this book. This book sounds really interesting, but I need to know, is it safe for me as a dog lover to read this book? And I'm telling everybody, if you're a dog lover, that you can read this book. You will enjoy this book. Because, I mean, the dog plays a pivotal role in it. And as I said before, I'm sure I've said on the episode, I messaged Chad, and like he and I had barely spoken at this point. He just knew me as this person coordinating for the literary festival, and I was like, "This dog better live. I need to know right now because you have got me really tied up about this damn dog." And he was like, "I can't tell you because I don't want to spoil things." Like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Well, it's like, remember I Am Legend? Do you remember that movie?
I stayed in bed the next day. I was a substitute teacher in Texas, and I didn't take any jobs because I had to stay in bed the next day. I was so damn depressed over that stupid movie.
That was awful.
It was.
But isn't that how it always goes? Like, I could watch, a zombie movie where thousands of people die, or a disease movie where a disease kills off 95% of the population. But if you kill a dog,
yeah, kill a dog, I'm out. What was it? The new Evil Dead. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give the new Evil Dead a chance. I love the old one because the old one's freaking hilarious. I'm gonna give this new one a try, even though I don't really do horror movies. And within the first 10 minutes, the dog dies, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out. And Ryan's like, but you changed. I put it to the TV. You change that channel right now if you want to keep your wife. You can watch it when I'm not home. I refuse to watch it because I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. It may be the fact that when it comes to dogs, that they don't have the free will that a human has. Well, would that dog have chosen to go to the cabin? Everybody else that died, they chose to go there. This dog did not choose to go there. He was brought there by his owners.
Well, I think we can all trace this back to the Never-Ending Story and Atreyu and his horse.
Old Yeller. My mother let me watch Old Yeller when I was little.
See, I never watched that movie. I read the book, but I never watched the movie.
Or in my case, I had to be maybe I think I was in kindergarten at the time, and my mother I watched Bambi for the first time. You know how
man. Nope.
Next morning, my mother's taking me to school, and she hits a pregnant deer.
Oh my God. That's
yes, awful. I was devastated, and the police officer that showed up to the scene was like, "Is your daughter okay? Is she injured?" And my mother was like, "No, I just killed Bambi."
Just watched it last night.
And so I think that is what started me on the semi-vegetarian, animal-loving, don't you dare kill an animal life that I have led.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure for me it was the Never-Ending Story. Because the horse scene is devastating.
But in the end, he's riding with the horse again. So
I know, but it's the
horse comes back to life. So I rationalized it in my head, and don't you dare take that away from me.
Well, no, I also, when I was little, I hated spending the night at people's houses. Like I got super homesick. I would freak out. My parents would have to come pick me up. So I never spent the night at anyone's house. And I didn't like that movie because in my mind, I don't know why, but he goes up to the attic in the school to read the book. In my mind, he was leaving his parents. I don't know why, but that's
why also you didn't like Absolutely Fabulous too, you told me.
Absolutely. Wait, what didn't I like?
Absolutely Fabulous?
I didn't like it. Why didn't I like it?
You told me you didn't like it when you were a kid because of the way the mother treated the daughter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You were a strange child.
I love it.
Now we love it. Now Patsy and Adina are my role models.
They are my heroes.
So in this relationship, do you get to be Eddie and I get to be Patsy?
Probably.
Or yeah. Yes. I can be Patsy. Yeah, she's Saffron, and she gets to hate me. And I get to show up drunk and be like, don't you ever eat? But I promise I will not burn down your house while passing out while smoking.
I appreciate that. It's very nice. Thank you. That's friendship right there.
I'm a good friend.
So anyway, we're all over the place tonight. But we do have Chad on our show next week. I will finish the book and have my questions ready. And then next month is the Wine, Women, and Words 1 year anniversary, which I can't believe it's already been a year. I don't even, our very first episodes aren't even on our YouTube channel because we didn't have a YouTube channel then. I think we just did it on mine, like my personal one, which has like 2 videos on it.
It did Google Hangouts. It was before Google Hangouts switched over to YouTube.
That's right. It was. So we're bringing on favorite guests. So if you remember Seth Margolis, he was one of our first, I think he might have been our second, actually.
He was our second guest.
He was our second guest. He did the Semper Sonnet, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He will be coming back. We also have Scott Wilbanks, who wrote The Melancholy Life of Annie Astor. We are going to be bugging him about when the sequel is coming out.
And then he had this other book that I can't remember the name of it, but I remember the premise where you had a guy that
Slim
had
Pickens.
Huh?
Slim Pickens.
That was the name of it. Was Slim Pickens?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna bug him about when that book's coming out. Because he's just got this wonderful jet-setting life. Whenever I message him, he's like, "Oh, we're off to go here. Or I'm off to go to this dinner party. I'm off to go here." And I'm like, oh.
I hate you.
Yes, I hate you. Want to live with you and join this jet-setting life because he's actually going to be in the States, during June.
Which state is he going to be in?
I don't know. He didn't say. Probably because if it was California, I'd have been like, okay, so we're gonna hang out, right? Because he's so fun, and I adore him so much.
Yes, he is. I just want to hang out with all these people. Like Seth, I want to hang out with Seth and like drink scotch and discuss literature, and I don't even like scotch.
Right? With Seth, if you go, you guys can go back, and if you haven't watched the episode or listened to the episode, you can go back and listen to the episode. Because it's on podcast.com and on iTunes. I had 2 New Year's resolutions this year. One was to finish that goddamn bookcase that I have downstairs in my garage, which I don't know if that's actually going to happen this year. But my second New Year's resolution was to get us on iTunes, and I managed to be able to do that this week. So we are on iTunes. So you can go back and you can see the episode in September with Seth. And I like to just sit and listen to him talk because it's like sitting and listening to a really good professor.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was like. So I'm super excited to have him back. I have his new book. It's not anything like Semper Sonnet. It's not the like historical fiction thriller. It's a political thriller.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize you already had it.
I did.
It's something with the presidents.
I forget.
I didn't realize you already had it because he was sending you. He's sending you an advanced copy.
Oh well, I'll have 2. That's okay. It'll just be my special Seth copy.
Well, in addition to the advanced copy, and then also the having Seth on, and then having Scott on. Oh, and then we're also having Julie K. Rose on.
And we love her.
January. I always love talking with Julie. Julie's become a friend of ours. And so we'll check in with each other periodically.
Yes, Julie is awesome. I had so much time talking to her about
So much time talking to her?
So much fun. Did I say time?
Yeah.
So much fun talking to her. we talked about Tom and Frank and Mary, and she has her book is coming out on an audiobook next month.
Did you hear the sample yet?
I haven't. No.
She sent me a sample of it. I got to listen to the sample, and I love it.
Who's narrating it?
I don't know offhand who it is, but whoever it is has a lovely English accent.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you guys go on Creating Her Story, I actually put up a post the other day about the for the love of audiobooks, because I really love audiobooks now because of my wonderful, wonderful hour-long commute. And
that's awesome, though. I kind of wish I had well, I don't work, but if I did, I wish I would have a long commute so I could listen to audiobooks, because I love that.
Well, one of the great things about Audible, and then also with the libraries too, if a lot of libraries have that overdrive system, because you can have them on your phone. Because that's what I do, because I don't have a CD player in my car.
Oh.
But I have that Bluetooth thing going on. So I can just download it onto my phone and then listen to it on my phone, so I'm not killing data. And I have something other than the radio to listen to in the car, but then you could also listen to it on your phone when you're like doing housework, when you can't actually sit down and read because you're chasing after the kids.
I don't know about that. I mean, usually we're listening to Paw Patrol or My Little Ponies.
Tell them this is My Little Ponies. Even when the other characters are getting killed.
This is the episode when Applejack and Rarity
Applejack and Rarity are going to war against the Nazis.
Do you remember like the old school My Little Ponies that had like the boy and the girl, like the brother and sister? That one, and they like rode the ponies and flew all over the place.
Yep.
It is not like that now.
Really?
No. They live in Ponyville, but they also go to Philadelphia. I can't. Cantalot High or Cantalot, something like that. There's like 5 cities that they made in one episode. That was like Philadelphia, and I wish I could remember all of them because they were very clever. But definitely not like it was when we were kids.
Oh, back in my day.
Back in my day, we rode the ponies, okay? There are no humans in this show anymore.
So, yes, next month is going to be a fun month as Michelle and I continually digress. This is what happens when we don't have a specific topic.
And we actually do we have our show lined up for the rest of the year? We do, right? We have through December.
Yeah, we have everything, but we're still talking about next month because in addition to that, our first week of June, instead of it just being Michelle and I, we're going to have the president of the Women's National Book Association on with us to talk about the Women's National Book Association, and she's also VP of the national section. So we're going to talk about that. Yes.
I've kind of stalled. It's kind of stalled out a little bit, but I have been talking to the women in the Women's National Book Association about starting a Chicago chapter. There's been, the 2 women that I've been working with, people's lives get busy. So I think we just kind of touched bases at a really inconvenient point in everyone's life. I was speaking with Joan and Mary, I want to say.
Okay, because this is Rachel. So I was like, maybe it's the same person.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Joan and Mary. But after we speak with Rachel, I plan on reaching out again, and hopefully now that it's summer and it was right at the beginning of the year and everyone was in like the New Year craze. So,
and they're in their 100-year anniversary, so there's probably a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully I will be launching the Chicago chapter of the WNBA. Not the basketball association,
But
the book
you can
association.
slam dunk like a boss, I'm sure.
I am only 5'5", and I have no hand-eye coordination
Details, minor details.
without the wine.
With wine, I can do anything.
I think I can do anything. Whether or not I can is another question entirely.
Well, we are also, in addition to all of that wonderful stuff that's coming on next month, because then also at the end of the month, we're going to have our Book of the Month author on with us.
Yay! And whoever it is, it's going to be amazing because I'm super excited about both books.
They are. They absolutely are. But in addition to all of that fun stuff, because it's our 1-year anniversary, we're going to do it Hobbit style, and we're going to give stuff back to you guys.
Yay!
You can get my Hobbit reference?
I did. Thank you very much. I've seen the movies. My husband is a huge nerd and loves them all.
Well, we're going to be Hobbitses, and we are going to be doing giveaways for everybody. Well, not everybody, but for each week, we're going to have a different giveaway. Seth is going to be giving away a copy of his new book to one lucky listener. We're going to be giving away a copy of Dido's Crown by Julie for another lucky listener. And we're also going to be giving away an audiobook of The Melancholy Life of Annie Astor.
Yay!
For somebody else too. So we're gonna have lots of fun giveaways.
It's like we're a real podcast.
No, we're on
iTunes and everything.
No, this is craziness.
It's like we're professional. Weird.
I know. So we're gonna have a really fun 1-year anniversary.
I'm gonna put this away now because I just housed 2 glasses of wine. That is not like me.
It's like that tequila photo I posted on our Facebook page.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I have to actually finish my wine because my mama taught me not to be a quitter.
No fallen soldiers.
Nope, no fallen soldiers. So yeah, so next month is going to be great. And then, as Michelle said, we've got pretty much have the rest of 2017 planned out.
I know, which is pretty amazing because if you think about it, when we started last year in June, we were doing 1 month at a time, and we didn't even start bringing guests on the show until August, right? That was when Erin came on.
Yeah.
And we did I Shall Be Near You.
It was our first ever guest, and we're like, what the hell are we doing?
We don't know.
And then, then we came up with the idea to have the authors on once a month.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
and we're having more guests on.
And now we have the entire year, and now we get to start looking at 2018, which is a really crazy thing.
Crazy idea.
Because there are some books that I don't want to wait until January or February or whenever it is to read.
Well, to give you guys a sneak peek of what we have planned, now these things can change, but coming up for July, we're going to do Girl in Disguise by Greer McAllister.
Yay.
I haven't gotten my book yet. She is fantastic. If you guys want to pick up that book or The Magician's Lie, you guys can do that ahead of time. The Magician's Lie, I absolutely adored that book. I don't know if you've read that at all.
I have it. It was part of my 12-book shopping spree.
Well, one of the things I loved about The Magician's Lie was that with that story, it was very, very intimate. You have this situation where this magician, female illusionist, which in and of itself is rare, she was arrested for killing her husband. And so it's her one-on-one with the sheriff, and she's telling him her story. So you have her going into the story from like the very, very beginning, from when she was a child, and then it has short chapter breaks where she's there talking to him directly. And it's just this really clever, really intriguing book, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I can't wait to read Girl in Disguise. I've heard wonderful things about that. Aaron McCabe over at Historical Fix Book Club, they've read Girl in the Disguise, and they loved it.
I'm trying to think if I bought both of them or just one of them. I don't know. I am away from my bookcase right now, so I can't check.
Hopefully you got one of those too, because I got you an advanced reader's copy of Girl in the Disguise as well. You need to start checking with me.
Maybe it was the Magician's
Lie.
The Magician's Lie. I think it might have been that one, because I know we were talking about Girl in Disguise, and
I don't know if Girl in Disguise, I think might have just come out.
Hold the phone. Now I have to check.
Are you texting your husband to see if you actually have that one?
No, I'm checking my past orders on Amazon. But as a side note, I have recently discovered used bookstores. I was kind of a snob about them before. I was kind of always like, I don't want used books. I want to be the only one who's owned them. And I don't know why I was like that.
Weird.
Because, I know, very strange. Because I bought 4 books today for the price of what it would have cost me to buy one hardcover book from Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, I did that at a used bookstore at the book fair. And
Which one are we getting?
we're getting Girl in Disguise.
Damn it.
Did you order it?
I got both of them. Oh, well, I'll have 2 now. I'll save these copies for our giveaway for next year.
Or maybe we could do the giveaway sooner with the extra copy.
Or we could do that too.
Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, since she'll be on, maybe we can do that. Well, who are we having on for August? I can't remember.
We just had this conversation.
We did. Don't we have a list? We have a list of this stuff somewhere.
We do. I made the list because I figured we
Michelle likes to pretend like we're organized.
Hold on. It couldn't have been too long ago. I know September we're doing August is the War Spies and Bobby.
Oh, yeah, War Spies and Bobby Socks, which just sounds like such a great title.
Yes, I am excited about that one. And then September is the Book of Speculation.
Which I got because it looked really good. And then Michelle was like, oh, that looks really good. I'm going to get it too.
But we did that without consulting with each other.
Did we?
Bought it, and then all of a sudden.
No, I thought I showed it to you, and you're like, oh, that does sound good. And then you went out the next day to Target and picked it up.
That's also quite possible, too.
This is why I avoid the book section at Target.
I only do it because I use the Cartwheel app, and when you get 3,000 points or 5,000 points, you get a free perk. And their free perk, up until recently, was always a free book. You could pick a free book.
You don't get the free books anymore?
The free book has been altered to $10 off a book, which is still pretty good.
Damn it, I need to start doing that more. As I look at like the 4 piles of books that I have here, because I don't have a bookcase yet.
Yeah. I need to buy another bookcase. I'm running out of room.
I have this massive bookcase. It's huge. It's this wonderful piece of bookcase that once I put it in there, I'm going to be able to put all of my books in there and still have room to put other things. And yeah, I just need to actually finish refurbishing it because it's still mostly black. You have the list? Okay. So we've got September was Book of Speculation. October was that
Someone Like You by Michelle Cox. November is The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane. And December is The Fortune Teller by Gwendolyn Womack. I am excited about all of these books.
Yes.
I am very excited about
what Someone Like You is about.
Someone Like You is the historical fiction one set in Chicago, where it's like the murder mystery / historical fiction.
Okay.
The local author, I do freelance writing. I know I've mentioned this before, for a newspaper in Chicago in the area where I live. And I interviewed this author for an article that I wrote for the newspaper. And as we're doing the interview and we're chatting, and I'm like, you are so perfect for our podcast. You need to come on. So kind of worked out. But but she's her. I mean, she as a person, love her.
Mhm.
Her story is super interesting. Only, I mean, not only, but super interesting to me because now I live in Chicago, and it's interesting to learn about the city, um, and its history. And the main character is based on a real person,
Mm.
which we always love.
I love that. Girl in Disguise is based on a real person.
Really, I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
So she is based on a woman that this author met when she was a social worker working at an old age home, and she was and so all the jobs that that her main character has are real jobs, and one of them is a 26 girl, and I didn't know what a 26 girl was until I asked her about it. And a 26 girl apparently in the 1930s, because this is a pre-World War II book, and you and I have had this conversation that pre-World War II is like a forgotten era in historical fiction. You don't get a lot of pre-World War II books.
You're starting to know. We're starting to get more of those.
We
Yeah.
are finding them.
Mm-hmm.
But 26 was a game really popular in Chicago. It was a dice game. So you had a bunch of dice and you had to throw the dice so many times and get added up to 26. And a 26 girl was basically a girl that just walked around keeping scores, but her real job was to get the guys to keep buying drinks.
Mm.
So that's what a 26 girl was.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
Yeah, it does sound really interesting.
And I know you are super excited.
I'm so excited about the fortune teller.
I am excited about the fortune teller. I am excited that you talked to Gwendolyn Womack about.
Yes, and I told her how you and I are total fangirls of hers.
Yes.
Because with Gwendolyn Womack, with her book, her first book, I don't even know if it's technically her first book. I think it is. But it was The Memory Painter. And if you haven't read The Memory Painter, you need to stop what you're doing and go out and buy it right now, this very moment. In fact, we'll wait for you to go on Amazon and buy it. So let's give you 5 minutes, go on Amazon and buy it.
All right, we'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah, bypass those ads,
Do the one-click purchase.
Mm-hmm.
But
buy one for your mother because, Mother's Day just happened. Father's Day's coming up. It'd be a good gift for him, too. Okay, now that you bought it, now that you've actually purchased it, it's a really great book, and I was reading it and I was falling in love with it, and then like I've said before, I read it in literally 24 hours because I picked it up like, oh crap, I've got a deadline to actually review this by, and then I couldn't put it down, so I had no problems reading it within 24 hours. And then I told Michelle about it, and Michelle fell in love with the book and had to read it. And now we're like, oh my God, Gwendolyn Womack.
Yep. Fangirl moment. I read that book. I checked it out from the library, so I'm going to have to buy it. So I have a copy of it. I know there's a lot of people out there who like to give books away once they've read it, so they can pass it on. I really don't like doing that.
I do pass on some of the books that I have because I have so many. Books are like ideas, and ideas need to be shared. So that's my idea.
How I share them, though.
Huh?
I said, this is how I share them, though. I like my books.
Yes, that is true, too. My father is funny because my father has to own every book that he's read.
Really?
And yes. And so he is more of a bookworm than I am. I get a lot of my bookworm tendencies from him. And he's the kind of person who would read 3 books at one time, always had a book in his hand. If he was watching television, he was reading while in between the shows while it was on commercial. So, yeah, this was my father. And so he has this massive library of books because he had to read every single one. And he refused to use the library because he couldn't own the book. Even if he's borrowed a book from me, he's like, oh, I really like this book. Now I have to go out and buy my own.
Mm-hmm. That's how I am.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, I like the libraries because you can get as many books as you want. And it doesn't cost you anything as long as you return them on time. which is sometimes my downfall.
Yes.
Well, I do believe we might be coming up on our hour.
Almost, just about.
And have we rambled? I think we've rambled.
This was a rambling night. We went on a rambling night because we weren't focused.
No, it happens. Don't judge us. All I wanted to do was talk about books for an hour.
Books in line for an hour because that's why you guys love us.
Yep. That's why we've lasted a whole year.
Whether you guys love us or not, enjoy yourselves.
We love us.
And we hope you guys love us too, though.
Yes, we do, because we get excited so when we do Google Hangouts, I start the conversation so I can see on my end, I have like the control panel, and in the bottom right hand corner, I can see viewers. Right now it says 0 viewers, which is pretty normal. But if it even says 1 viewer for like a while, I get super excited. So even if one person watches us for a few minutes, we appreciate you, whoever you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
those of you who listen and download our podcasts, we love you. You are the best people in the world.
Yes. So we even if it's one person for 2 minutes, we love that you have taken the time out of your day to listen to us and our ramblings about books.
Yes, and I'm so excited that we're going to be able to do giveaways for all of you.
I know. I can't believe we have giveaways planned. That's so cool.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We might be wrapping up a little bit early, but I think in light of our episode, it's okay.
Yes, I've actually... Oh, wait. I finished my wine so we can end the episode.
That girl.
Yes. Mama didn't raise no quitters.
All right, everyone, have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.